going on?
How many walks?
Have you actually seen the episode?
I think I have.
Mate, it's so fucking joke.
I don't really remember it.
I feel like I haven't watched It's Always Sunny in ages.
I can't remember the last time I did.
Have you seen the one where they have the Super Bowl episode?
Not really. I don't really remember them that well. My memory is dreadful.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know why.
Nah, well, okay. Have you ever seen the one where they're trying to get into the? There's a football game and they're trying to get into it, and then they like sneak into the ground or something. They're trying to sneak into the ground.
I remember it vaguely. Did they end up in jail or something?
Something like that, yeah. Or like they end up in a locked closet or something, and they go to court and they're like arguing with the judge.
No, I don't really remember it that well.
Okay. Well, then, what is your like off the top of your head, like some of your favourite Always Sunny episodes?
I always remember when he froze up in the back of the cab.
Oh my god! Where he's like, you two should go to dinner together or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, was it Frank that froze up? No, it's Charlie. It's Charlie. Yeah. Oh, it's that. Yeah, that one is really funny. That's the episode where Frank's going out with a prostitute, like in Pretty Woman, and they basically don't want him to be with a prostitute.
I don't remember that.
That's the same episode, and that's the one where Mac gets like really fat.
Okay. Yeah.
He gets really fat, and then Dennis goes to he's like, oh, you need to basically stop eating, and then they get hooked on crack. It's so jokes.
And then the other one is she is a slut.
Oh yeah, when they have wrestling, she's like singing the national anthem, and he just smacks her with a steel chair.
Those are like my two stand-up moments.
Yeah, that is one of the that is one of the funniest ones. I think my favorite episode is the one where it's the one where it's they do a play.
Yeah.
And basically Charlie's doing it so that he can ask out the waitress.
Yeah.
Actually, I think a lot of the episodes with the waitress are like some of the funniest ones.
Yeah, that's it.
Or the one where they have the lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And they always call him like the Jew lawyer or something ridiculous like that.
Is that the one with the hands?
Yeah. And his uncle, who's like a nonce who's abused him, and he's like always, but he hires him as a lawyer because he's cheap.
Yeah. What a bloody legend.
I used to always watch that show and think like they're never at the bar, but they're always, when they're at the bar, they're just drinking like their own beers. Like I don't know how they. I know Frank's like a millionaire, so that's how they like fund it. But it's just, I would watch that and just be like, I remember watching it a lot in lockdown, thinking I just really want to have a drink here. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've sort of gone off beers recently.
You didn't drink beer for like a year, do you remember?
Yeah, I don't know.
What was you drinking in that? Was it Guinness, basically?
I was having, back then I was having like ciders. Like
I remember like a Stoma and... what was it?
Stomas.
It's like, that reminds me, have you seen that video? It's like, in the crib sipping, and it has like all of these brands that are not real brands. It'll be like, instead of Oreos, it'll be like Oreos or something like that.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's one of the funniest memes ever. I watched it earlier, I was actually in tears, and it's like, got a knockoff version of Drake and Josh. Is like, in the crib watching Jake and Josh.
I don't remember.
But yeah, you were drinking ciders and...
Yeah, and then recently I've just been loving the Guinea.
Yeah, mate, I always eat Guinness now.
Yeah.
But when did you sort of... I remember you didn't drink beers for ages, but when did you start drinking them again? Was it like...
I can't remember why. I think it might have been...
Because we drank beers in Prague.
It might have been when we went on holiday. I was like, oh...
Did you drink beers in Ibiza, or did you only drink... I know we drank some beers in Ibiza.
Yeah, I had a few beers.
But that was in like September, I think.
Yeah. I can't really remember. Again, my memory is horrendous.
I feel like I haven't really drank much beer because I've been basically drinking Guinness, but it is nice. I had like a nice... What did I have? A nice Moretti the other day, which was nice.
Yeah.
Even at the dog races I had, I was drinking Guinness. It was actually quite nice.
Yeah, the only time I really enjoy a beer is when it's a good beer and it's ice cold.
Especially, in the summer in like a beer garden or something.
So good.
Man, I can't wait for summer just in a beer garden.
Can't wait for summer, dude.
So 3 bitches to my left. Nah, it's going to be jokes. And I'm buzzing for Barca, to be fair.
Yeah.
Off summer's going to be good.
I bloody hope so.
Do you not think it would be?
No, it will
It'd
definitely
be like Ibiza, I think, basically.
Yeah, I just don't know if it will be as good. It might be a little bit of a letdown, maybe, compared to Ibiza.
Maybe. I mean, I still think it'll be good. Basically, it'll be like the same. I think it'll be like the same thing.
Yeah, I bloody hope so. Yeah,
And have you been to Barcelona before?
No, never.
I've been there once for like a day. It is a 6. I went when I was like 18 though, but it is a good city. Though.
Did you just go to check out the stadium?
Yeah, pretty much. Because where I was staying with Woodsy and his dad, because they had like a villa in like the countryside.
Oh, must be nice.
Yeah, they only sold it like recently. They had it for years.
Yeah.
They sold it a few months ago, but it was where we were like outside. We were in the countryside, and then we drove into Valencia for like an hour. Stayed there for a few hours, and then Valencia to Barcelona is like an hour and a half drive.
Yeah.
And then we was in Barcelona, went to the stadium tour. Yeah, it was class, to be fair. Barcelona's a nice city.
I'm surprised you didn't go there more often if they had the villa out there.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. I think it's because when I went with Sam, it's just when he was playing football, the only time he could ever go on holiday was in June.
Yeah.
So basically, he would have to go with one of his parents, and then they would all go on holiday later in the summer when he had pre-season. That's why I went with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't. I only went once, but it was literally in the middle of nowhere. Like there was, and this was like 2015. So I remember I basically had no internet for like a week. It was quite hard. I'm not gonna lie.
That's kind of horrible. Actually.
Yeah, and it wasn't like back then where you had like everyone had Netflix and stuff. Yeah. It was like, and actually, funnily enough, that's how I found out about Modern Family.
Yeah.
Because every channel was Spanish. They had one day where it was there was like for an hour or two they had Modern Family on. That was the only show with like English on.
Yeah.
And they used to watch Modern Family, so we watched it, and I was like, this is so funny.
Yeah.
And then I went home and I just binge watched it. And that was like 10 years ago, so it'd been on TV for like 6 years at that point.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out about Modern Family. I mean, I knew about it, but I'd never ever watched it. I just thought it was a stupid idea.
Yeah, Modern Family's class.
Mate, Modern Family's so good.
Yeah, up to about season 10, I'd say.
Yeah. That reminds me, where are you up to in Sopranos?
I don't really have time to watch it annoyingly at the moment, but I'm going to start again.
Yeah. Next time you come to mine, we'll catch up and watch it.
Yeah, I'm still just at the start of season 5. I've been stuck there for a while.
I can't remember what's at the start of season 5.
It's Adriana is still speaking to FBI.
No.
She nearly told everyone. The other, what's his name? The other Tony's in the show now.
His cousin.
Yeah. Spoilers, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's watching.
But yeah, new Tony's in. What else is going on? It's been really slow recently.
You think?
Yeah, but I
love Sopranos.
My colleague at work, I was sort of saying that there are no satisfying moments. It's starting to slow down. And he said, "Just trust me." Season 6.
What do you mean, like no satisfying moments? What do you mean?
Obviously, I know it's realistic. Realistic isn't really the right.
No, it is. I think because even there's like a famous video of like when the FBI was surveilling these mobsters, they had like wiretaps in their feet. Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, have you watched this Sopranos show? It's so good." And it was like, "It's so realistic." And they're like, "Is this about us?"
Yeah.
And it's like that's how realistic it is, kind of thing. So
that's the thing. Like, it's just little things. Like, for example, the way he kills. Spoilers. The way he kills
Tony.
Yeah, the way Tony kills. Is it Ralphie? Just it seemed really unsatisfying. Because Ralphie was a character.
Oh, everyone hates Ralphie.
Hated, yeah. But then the way he kills him is just like.
Why was that unsatisfying? Because I remember he killed him in the house.
Yeah, I remember when he killed Tracy.
Which one was Tracy again?
That was like the one with the braces.
Yeah.
He found out she was pregnant, and then he kills her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You think, oh, Tony's gonna lose it, and then he just like, yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
Well, you can't really touch him, can he? He's a captain.
And then he supposedly kills a horse, so we don't even know if he 100% did it.
Oh,
and then he just absolutely loses it, and then just hits him in the face a few times, and he dies. I'm like.
But
really?
I remember I watched a video kind of to do with that, but it's like a recurring theme in the series how like she loves animals. Cause remember
that's true.
Like when he had the ducks at the start and he got really depressed.
That's a good point. I never made that connection.
And I didn't notice that until after. That's why I think he's really affectionate with animals throughout the series.
That's very true.
Like the horse, the Pyomai, and obviously the ducks. And I think there's something else.
There's definitely another one in the middle. I can't remember.
Yeah. Like he loves animals, doesn't he?
Oh, what was it? Because I did sort of. The therapist makes that connection as well, but I can't remember what it is.
Oh, what, Melfi?
Yeah.
And
that's another unsatisfying moment, where she's assaulted, and I was hoping Tony would find out. She even knows who the guy is. I'm just praying for Tony to find out, and he just doesn't.
But I think that is realistic in The Sopranos because I feel like if Melfi had said, that would have ruined, one, her professionalism, and two, her relationship with him she then owes him.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then it's like. That would be more realistic. It would be more satisfying if she said, "Oh, Tony, this guy did this to me. Can you whack him for me?"
Yeah.
But because she didn't, it's like, it was.
It's
I was so frustrated, but that is more realistic.
It is 100% more realistic. But the thing with a TV show is I kind of like to suspend my disbelief. Like going back to obviously the best TV show of all time, Breaking Bad. I'm the biggest Breaking Bad fan of all time.
Yeah.
Like for example, when Walter goes and at the end with all the Nazis, and he's got a machine gun in the back of his car, and it shoots everyone through the wall except him and Jesse, and then they have that nice moment at the end, and then he dies, and it's all romantic. Obviously, that's not realistic, and it's not going to happen, but it's satisfying. And you can suspend your disbelief and be like, yes, this happened. When but, obviously that just wouldn't happen.
I think I do agree with you to an extent, but in a way it kind of is realistic, because if you look at the context, he had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to die or be in prison. Like, he knew that, well, I might as well just go for it in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Like, with this thing, it would have been satisfying as a viewer for Dr. Melfi to say to Tony to get this guy and then get some revenge. But then you got to think after that. Then it's like, well, then they don't really have the
same relationship.
The same relationship. Then it's more like, oh, well, you've done this massive favour for me, and I'm in debt to you, and you know my personal problems. He shouldn't know about her personal problems. It should be the complete other way around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is. It's obviously it's really, really good. I'm not saying it's not a good show. It's really, really good. But it's just that is a thing where it almost feels like more of a sitcom.
You think so?
Drama, yeah.
Right.
The characters are really enjoyable. There are funny moments.
Yeah.
But then I realised I've watched an episode. I'm like, nothing happened.
Right.
It was just I'm just enjoying the character development. There's more character development.
Well, you got to keep watching. It's still good. It is really good. Do you know what though? It's funny you talk about Breaking Bad. I don't think I have the heart to watch Breaking Bad again.
Oh,
it's just too tense. I love Breaking Bad, but it's just man. I remember when I was first watching it, I genuinely had to take breaks.
Yeah.
Not in between episodes, but I would watch say 2 or 3 and be like, I need a few days off because it's just so tense.
Yeah, it really.
It's an amazing show, but I was just like, oh, I don't know if I can hack it today. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think though that the Better Call Saul towards the end was more tense than Breaking Bad at times?
No. Yeah, it was. There were moments, obviously.
Climax, I feel like it was so...
Oh, no, of course it was very tense, but I think Breaking Bad was more...
tense throughout, I would say.
Tense throughout, and I also think that with Better Call Saul, the first season, it was very slow, and I only watched it because obviously it was to do with Breaking Bad, and the only thing that kept me interested was Mike. Everything else was very like... if it was nothing to do with Breaking Bad, and I didn't know they were already such good characters, I don't think I would have kept watching. But I was like, and then after that, season 2 is just brilliant, and so from onwards, in my opinion.
Who's the other character that's really good? He ends
Kim Wexler?
No, well, she is good, but he sort of like sacrifices himself in the end, and like his dad doesn't want him getting involved in drugs and all that sort of thing, and he works under Tuco. Oh, what's his bloody name?
I can't remember now.
I'm not good with the names in.
I think I know who you mean, but I can't remember off the top.
And he like lets himself get killed because he knows he's going to spoil the whole operation.
Yeah, I know who you mean, but I can't. I mean, I watched it so many years ago when it came out. It was like 3 years ago now.
You haven't rewatched Better Call Saul?
No, I haven't. It's brilliant though. It is really good.
I haven't rewatched that either. I've watched Breaking Bad like 4 times, but I've
only watched Breaking Bad once. I've only watched Better Call Saul once. But I kind of wish that what it would be like if someone that's watched neither, but then you watch Better Call Saul first. Because, wait, or no, Better Call Saul is chronologically first, isn't it?
Most of it. And then there are sort of little bits towards the end that are after, with like Saul being really old and how he gets caught. And...
Wait, hold on. So it goes Better Call Saul, then Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But then what I don't understand is, you know, like at the end of Better Call Saul, Saul Goodman is in jail, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly, because it like skips ahead, so it's all.
Oh yeah.
Then it's Breaking Bad, and then like the last few episodes of Better Call Saul are after Breaking Bad.
Right. So I wonder if it's possible to watch it
all chronologically.
Yeah, there must be a way around it.
That would be so cool to do.
That would be great to do. And it's amazing how they managed to get. I mean, obviously he would have written the whole story, but it must have been interesting to see how they planned it out. To be like, okay, we're going to do this. We've got to make sure that detail is shown because obviously it won't make sense if it's not, to keep it all chronologically in order.
That's what makes Better Call Saul so impressive, because that obviously wasn't the plan. Because I know that after Jesse was only meant to be in season 1 of Breaking Bad, and they were going to kill him off, but people loved his character so much they kept him in the show, and then he became like the main character. So it wasn't
weird. That wouldn't have worked
been
as
the
well.
same show. No, not at all. But they loved him so much that they kept him in.
Yeah, that's good, because it's just such a. The whole storyline is just incredible.
Yeah. And
it's just like, oh my god. And I think every character is just like so good. And it's funny actually, that reminds me of when There was this thing a few years ago. Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor were arguing on Twitter about something. It's when he said he was going to be in a movie, and then McGregor was like, "Oh, if you was in a movie, the kid Walter would play you from Breaking Bad."
It's actually spot on as well. Oh, it's actually spot on. The way he talks. Oh, what a joke.
Oh, mate, that is too funny.
He's such a legend.
Yeah, what did I just finish recently? Oh, I watched that Adolescent show. That was pretty good.
I still need to watch that. I'm trying to.
It's good. It is good. What is impressive, but I won't give you any spoilers, but they film it continuously in one shot with no cuts. There's no breaks.
The whole thing?
The whole thing, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's really impressive.
That's really cool.
So if they made one mistake, they would have to go back and do it again. There was no editing.
That's really cool.
Mad, isn't it? I didn't realise that till after, but sometimes when I was watching it, I was like, oh, the camera's not moving. But when you watch it, it's filmed in one continuous shot. So even if they got one line wrong, they had to just do the whole thing from start again.
That's insane.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I know, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the episodes are like an hour long. So it's like being in the theatre, essentially.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
Okay. That's really cool.
It's good. It's only 4 episodes as well, but it's good.
Yeah. I will definitely watch it. I'm just, me and my mum haven't watched something together for a while, so I'm trying to...
Do you know what I watched? I finally watched, because you've been telling me to watch it for years. I watched it a couple of days ago. I watched 7.
Finally!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's so good, isn't it?
What's in
the bar?
What's in the bar? What's in the fucking bar? Oh my god! When obviously, because I've seen that clip, but I had no idea that's what was going to happen. I did have a bad feeling when when Kevin Spacey's character comes into the jail
covered in blood,
and he's like, oh, and I was just like, what is he doing? I didn't expect him to do that, but I was like, that is just so... The way he planned it as a killer was so good, because you know, like the part where Mills, Brad Pitt's character, is on the floor. You know when he's chasing him and he knocks him down with a lever. Yeah. He goes to shoot him, but then he doesn't. He obviously planned that all. Yeah. So that he could then kill his wife, kind of thing.
Oh, it's crazy.
And what I find mad as well is I was a bit confused at the end, that I didn't understand when he exactly killed his wife. So do you know what's really good? So I looked up on Twitter's AI, Grok, and it basically said it's sort of left open-ended, but it's assuming that he killed her on like the night before or the day of, sort of thing. So obviously he didn't even know that his wife was dead, kind of thing.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's mental. Like it was just so good, and the fact they got Kevin Spacey to do like that quick sort of small role, right at the end, it was just mental.
Oh, and it was so cool the way he like goes into the prison. And or the jail or whatever, and he's covered in blood, and no one's paying attention to him at all. And you could see him like getting frustrated, like, hey.
Yeah.
I love that moment. It's
so good.
Oh,
I watched it yesterday. No, 2 days ago, and I was like, what? That is mental.
It's an unbelievable film.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Uncut Gems?
No.
You haven't seen it? Oh my god, you need to. I've rewatched that. I've watched it a few times, but watched it again the other day with my nan and my uncle, and it's just unbelievable. It's on Netflix as well.
There's just so many things to watch.
I know there's so many shows and films to watch, but it was Uncut Gems is unreal. Like it's proper good.
I've been told to watch The Shield. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Shield? Is that a show?
Yeah, it's like about a corrupt police officer, and you're meant to. The reason why it was recommended to me is because I said how much I love rooting for like the anti-hero, I think is what you'd call it, where it's like a villain but from their perspective. Yeah. And they said, trust me, watch The Shield. So
Shield?
Yeah. So
let me see what that's on. Let me get my phone.
Yeah. So that's sort of next on my list. Maybe The Shield or The Wire, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, The Wire is really good. The Shield, I've never heard of that.
And there's also, I also said that I would watch Game of Thrones.
Do you know, I've never really been a fan of all that kind of like fake stuff, but apparently it is really good, and it's just a good story.
Yeah.
I've heard multiple people tell me that, so I thought you had seen Game of Thrones.
No, I think I started the first episode and just got bored.
Right, I have heard it's very, very good, so I might just have to give it a go.
Suck it up and just
The Shield drama. This is really old, 2002. I recognise some of these actors.
Anti-hero show.
Okay, and it's on Disney Plus, so I might have to give it not Prime Video, so I might have to give it a watch.
If you start watching it, let me know, and
I'll
try and
7
speed
seasons,
up
yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so Sopranos, have you seen Snowfall?
That's another one where
I think
I watched 2 episodes. I've watched a few episodes of The Wire, a few episodes of Snowfall. I just don't get into them.
Right.
I have to be like in the right mood.
Right. I get you.
It's hard for I don't know what it is. I'm just a moron. I need to do what you do, where I just lock my phone and just.
Oh yeah. I started doing that when I started watching The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I was just like, I need to be more focused, so I would just put my phone in another room.
Just gonna try and be like, no matter what, I will watch an episode. I will get to 5 episodes before I decide to start watching.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just
invest it.
Put my phone in a different room or turn the internet off, so I can't be distracted. Just watch and sort of lock in, and that's I think that's the best way to watch things, because I feel like you miss even where shows that I've watched and I wasn't on my phone. Like, I've seen The Sopranos like 2 or 3 times, like twice now, I think.
Yeah.
And when I rewatched it again, I was like, wow, I didn't notice that at first, even though I was fully paying attention. Yeah. Just little things that you don't notice.
I love that sort of thing.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea. It's just little. I think that's just the best way to watch films and stuff. And I feel like you're right though, there's so many things I need to watch. I'm like, I haven't even started yet.
It's impossible to catch up.
And there's always new stuff coming out, so it's hard to always be on top of all of these like series and films or that's out or whatever. But yeah.
Were you able to keep up with your like 1 or 2 films a week, or?
I've still done one film a week. I didn't. So last week I wasn't able to because I was working, but that's because I watched Adolescence instead, and it was 4 episodes. So no, I wasn't working, but I was out with you lot on the weekend. But I watched Adolescence before during the week.
Yeah.
But this week I've watched 2 films. I mean, I rewatched Uncut Gems, and then I watched 7, and then I might watch a film on Sunday or something.
Can I try and get? I'm gonna be the biggest incel ever. Can I try and get Joker on your list?
No, it is on my list.
Okay. Cool.
It is on my list, but I looked it up. So basically, I've got a watch list of films.
Yeah.
But you have to pay for it. I mean, I don't mind, but it's like
that's a shame.
I got to pay like 3-4. I mean, I will watch it.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny actually? My aunt and her husband were around the other day, and we all had dinner. It was like, and my uncle was around, and my nan. There was like loads of us around having dinner, and then we were talking about films, and then my uncle was like, "Oh, The Joker is one of the best films he's ever seen."
Good.
And then he was like, Joker 2, one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. He was like, I felt robbed. He was like, it was terrible.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's funny, with films and stuff, it's subjective.
100%,
Yeah. But I do want to watch it. I've never seen it, so.
Yeah. I think it genuinely is my favourite film.
What, Joke of all time?
Yeah, ever.
Oh, okay.
It's that good. I think 7's in my top 5 somewhere, maybe top 3.
7 was good. I mean, it wasn't like the best film I've ever seen. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I gave it on Letterboxd, I gave it a 3.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah. Is that good for you?
That's still good, because if that was out of 10, that's 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt a bit high to give it 4 stars, I feel like, which is like
fair.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But I thought 7 was fair.
Yeah.
If I could, I would have given it 7.5.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. I just sometimes felt like it was, like, it wasn't the best film I've ever seen. It's like a lot of people love Interstellar, which is a good film.
Oh, that is a very good film.
But it's not like for me. I remember it wasn't like, because I remember you telling me when you watched it when it came out, didn't you?
Yeah,
you saw it in cinema.
I loved it.
And I remember you saying like to me like 10 years ago, you were like, that's one of the best films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I remember Sam, he watched it, I think, maybe like 4 years ago. And he was like, that was one of the best films he said, that's the best film I've ever seen. He said, I genuinely started crying.
Yeah.
So then I was like, let's all watch it then. So we all watched it like 3 years ago. And I enjoyed it. I think it's a really smart idea. And Matthew McConaughey is probably my favourite actor of all time. And I did enjoy it, but I wasn't like blown away.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show it's completely subjective.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're one of those people that you wouldn't say you have like a top 3 or...
No, I do. Because when you make a Letterboxd account, well, that's why you should download one. You have to give your 4 favourite films of all time. And I don't know if you've seen... I always get Letterboxd. They've got a TikTok account, and they always come up on my feed. And they'll go to like these red carpet events, and they'll ask these like actors and directors on the spot, what's your 4 favourite films?
Yeah.
Because when you make an account, you have to give your 4 favourite films.
Okay, yeah.
And there's like, you have these really top level actors, and they're like struggling because they're on the spot to think of like 4 films. But then sometimes they give like these really good answers, and I always like them, even if I don't know the film, so I can go back and watch these films. It's really good.
I bet I can guess.
Well,
like
my 4 favourite films. Okay, go on.
Right.
It's 4. It's a top 4.
I know Pulp Fiction's in there somewhere.
That's my number 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. I'm gonna say Goodfellas.
No, but it is a great film. Not on my top 4 though.
I'm assuming because you rewatched it, I'm gonna say Uncut Gems.
No, but it's up there. But it's not on that top 4 list. It was unlucky to miss out, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you have got Pulp Fiction so far.
The Simpsons movie.
That is one of the best movies I've seen.
That's one of the most rewatchable films.
It is. The thing is, I haven't seen it in years. I think in my tutor group in school, we used to always rewatch Simpsons movie at the end of the year.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to guess anymore.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. I said Matthew McConaughey is one of my favourite actors, so he's in at least one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, he's in two of my favourite films.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the film. I can't get it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know what it's called.
Well, do you know what happens in the film?
No, you're going to have to help me at this point.
Okay, so my top 4 on Letterboxd is Pulp Fiction, number 1.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the other order, but it was Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Have you seen that film?
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, it's incredible. Ocean's 11, and then I have... Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I haven't even heard of that one.
You haven't heard of that film? It's a true story as well. Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto. So good. And then also on that list, The Gentleman. Have you seen that film?
No.
Oh, it's really good. It's a Guy Ritchie film.
Kind of a recent one though, isn't it?
Yeah, 2020. New Year's Day 2020 it came out. That's when I watched it in the cinema when it came out.
Yeah.
Really good film.
Quite a long one, isn't it?
Sorry?
Quite a long one.
Yeah, like 2 hours, I think. It's good. Good cast. It's Matthew McConaughey, Guy Ritchie. Who else is in that film? Not Ewan McGregor. I think that Tom Hardy, I think, is in it.
I might have it mixed up with a different film because I thought it was like 3 hours long.
You thinking of Snatch? Because
No,
it's a Guy Ritchie.
It's a good film though.
Yeah. What about you? What is if you was to make a Letterboxd account today? What
top
would be
four
your top
would be
four?
difficult.
It doesn't have to be in a particular order. It has to be your 4 favourite films.
I know. The thing is, because we've been talking about them, they're stuck in my mind. So I'm thinking Joker. I know is probably one.
Interstellar's probably on there as well.
Interstellar's probably up there somewhere.
Because you always bang on about Interstellar.
There's a film called When. It's either When a Monster Calls or A Monster Calls. I've watched that a couple of times, and that's probably.
Is that a superhero film?
No, it's a film. It's meant to be based on a kid's book, and it's about a monster that is trying to help a boy get through his mum being diagnosed with cancer, and helping him get through it. And for some reason, it just really impacted me. Right. And that's the only film I've watched that's made me cry.
Really? Okay.
So that's probably up there. That's in my top 4.
What else is in your? It's probably something stupid like. It's gonna be like, I don't know, Mamma Mia or something.
For some reason, I'm thinking Silence of the Lambs, but I don't know if
I've never seen that film. I've always wanted to see it, but I've not seen that one.
For some reason, that's like jumping out at me, but I don't know if
I felt bad when I was even making my list. I was like, oh my god, only 4, and I felt bad missing certain films out.
Yeah.
Like I left out, like for example, City of God, which is a great film.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, City of God's incredible. What else? Like for example, you said Goodfellas is a great film.
Yeah.
The Godfather. So many good films that I left out, and I was like, it's hard to pick 4.
It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'll just go with those. But the thing is, if I was to do this again, I would have completely different ones. That's the problem. I know Joker's in there 100%. A Monster Calls would 100% be in there. But then the last 2...
Do you not like a lot of like Leo films? I feel like you like Leonardo DiCaprio films.
Yeah, I don't.
He's got loads of great films. He's one of my favourite actors as well.
I 100% do, but I mean...
He's got like Wolf of Wall Street, Titanic.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street is good, but I don't know. I don't really think, I have to watch Wolf of Wall Street again. I just think that's a fun film.
What about, I'm trying to think of, like any more Brad Pitt films? Like Fight Club or...
Fight Club is very good.
I've only watched half of it years ago, so I need to watch it like fully.
I can't believe you didn't even watching it.
Sorry?
Were you just like bored?
No, I was watching it with someone and then they didn't want to keep watching it, so I was like, oh, okay. But I wanted to carry on.
Yeah.
So I can't really remember what happens. So I only watched like not even half of it, I don't think.
I would highly recommend it.
So I'm going to watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of just stuff like Shutter Island. And
Shutter Island's really good film.
Those sort of films.
Yeah, that's a good film. I feel like I watched Gangs of New York the other day.
I don't know that one.
It's a good film. It's an Asa Leo film.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of months ago. I watched The Big Short. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
that is a really good film. Yeah,
I was really surprised that your dad didn't like that one.
Yeah, he thought it was alright, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think it was like great cast. It was like Christian Bale. American Psycho, is that on your list?
Believe it or not, I haven't watched it.
You haven't seen American Psycho?
Believe it or not.
Oh my god, that is a brilliant film. I can't even remember when I watched it, but I've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
And it's it's really good.
It's just so. I want to watch The Shining as well.
I've never seen The Shining either. Yeah, I've not seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. American Psycho is really, really good.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a film I'd love as well.
Yeah, I feel like you would like that film. It's just so bit different, a bit weird. It's good. It's got some funny moments in there as well, but it's it's really good.
I just know I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with A Monster Calls, Joker, and then I'll throw in Interstellar and
7.
Yeah, I may as well. Yeah, 7 is good.
7.
I really like 7.
7 is good. Have you ever seen Heat?
No.
Oh, that is really good. I watched it recently. It's Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've done. Do you know what's funny? So they've done loads of films with each other, dating back from the 60s and 70s. But that film came out in *95. Out of all the films that they had done together, that was the first time they were actually on screen at the same time. It's crazy.
Okay, that's quite cool.
Yeah. That's a really good film.
Right, I've got a different question for you. I feel like you're not going to answer this, or you're not going to be able to answer this.
Okay, go on.
But what is your guilty pleasure film? You're almost embarrassed to say you like it.
Not embarrassed, but I would say I love rom-coms.
Yeah.
So I'd say like Pretty Woman. I really like. I watched another one the other day. What's the other popular rom-com?
Or like Bridget Jones.
I've never seen Bridget Jones, but there's another rom-com that I watched and I liked. Notting Hill.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
that one.
It's a good film.
Yeah,
that's like a nice little guilty pleasure. I like rom-com. Do you know what I also like? I like musicals. So I like Pitch Perfect, Hairspray. What's another like musical? Those kind of films. I do like those kind of films. High School Musical.
I despise musicals so much. I don't know what it is. It takes me out of the film. As soon as they start singing, I'm just like, I just roll my. But one musical that I thought is so funny is because it's sort of like taking the piss out of musicals. Enchanted. That's like one of the funniest films I've ever watched.
Seen it. No.
I was laughing the whole way through.
Enchanted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a guilty pleasure.
I haven't seen. I don't know if you've seen. Not Enchanted. Have you seen La La Land? I've never seen that. People bang on about that all the time. Like a lot of Ryan Gosling movies, I actually have not seen. But
there's another good Ryan Gosling movie where
he's a good actor.
He's in it with Steve Carell.
Not The Big Short.
No, I don't think I don't know the bloody name of it. It's a rom-com. It's something to do like Crazy Stupid Love or something like that. I can't remember.
I think I know what you mean. He's in quite a few rom-coms. I think. Yeah. I like, but yeah, there's a lot of rom-coms I haven't seen. Like I still haven't seen How to Get Over a Guy in 10 Days. When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
I've seen 10 Things I Hate About You. That's a good film. There's a few others that I need to see. Like there's a few I think. Like there's a lot of other big like Bridget Jones I've still not seen. Yeah. So I think that would be like my guilty pleasure when it comes to films. What about you? Is it like superhero movies or something?
No, I'm not really the biggest fan of superhero movies. Really, The Boys. I think you need to watch though.
Yes, I keep forgetting. Yeah, The Boys.
You have to watch The Boys. There's so many iconic moments.
Okay, fine. Jay loves that show.
Yeah, it does start to fall off towards the end. I'd say I wasn't over the moon about season 4, but
everyone says he's like Ronaldo. I mean, I haven't seen it, but everyone says he's like Ronaldo.
He really is.
Yeah.
He really is like Ronaldo.
I always get clips of it on my TikTok. It was like, I saw this one the other day. It was like the caption was, "Just ask her out. What's the worst that can happen?" Yeah. And then it was a clip from that show, and it was like the main character, and then it's a girl recording him. She's like, "Just putting this out to my 3 million followers. What a creep this guy is," or something like that. And I liked it straight away, but I know I can just tell that show's funny.
Yeah,
but I've never seen it.
Love it. You would think it's so funny. I think that's one of the only superhero things I know you'd enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't mind. Do you know what it is? For me, I don't like superhero movies because I just feel like the good guy wins, the world gets saved. But things like that, they're not really like superhero-y.
It's not formulaic.
You know, like for example, what's that superhero film? Like Kick-Ass or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
it's a superhero film. Even Deadpool, it's a superhero film, but it's like a comedy basically. Yeah. Like I love that. I like that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in like, Spider-Man saves New York City for the 500th time. Yeah. But it's funny. Maybe I'm biased because of like I enjoyed it when I was a kid. But I rewatched like Spider-Man 1 or 2
Spider-Man is one of the only
ones. You know the not Peter Parker ones. Something
Maguire.
Yeah, not Harry Maguire. What's his
No,
name?
What's his name? It's something.
Scott Maguire, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Those are really good
They are
films.
good.
They're not just like cliche, in my opinion.
I strongly agree.
Whereas I can't keep up with people. I get it. I do get it. I look at superhero movies the same way I look at people that like WWE or wrestling. There's nothing against it, but it's just not for me.
100%.
They're definitely skillful and entertaining and this and that, but they're just not for me.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah.
There's even the newer Spider-Mans, like Into the Spider-Verse, whatever. They're actually quite good. As well.
I'm sure they are. I haven't even seen any of those. I think didn't they do like an animated one as well, like a cartoon? Because I remember they done like a. Yeah, there was apparently they're really good they're like for kids, but they're really really good.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed.
Do you know what I was talking about this the other day? They don't really, like comedy movies. Like I feel like the last sort of great ones, and you don't get you don't get comedy movies like Superbad anymore.
It's a shame, isn't it? But
like,
it's just because
what happened to that genre? I don't understand.
They're sort of a niche, aren't they? I guess where it's like, it's not like an adult film, but it's not a kids film either. It's like a sort of in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
because I feel like in the 2000s, those kind of films were like coming out all the time.
Yeah.
Those sort of, that sort of Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen kind of.
Yeah,
the Franco brothers kind of film, like 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street.
Oh,
you don't get films like that anymore, and they're so funny.
I guess they just must not do well in theaters for some reason.
But I think those films are all commercial successes. But maybe it's just the. I don't think it's you can't say those jokes anymore. Blah blah blah. I think it's more just. You're right. Maybe it's just a generation thing. Maybe they wouldn't be as good now.
I can't imagine like sitting on your phone watching Superbad and just looking up every now and then and chuckling. It's not that sort of film, I don't think.
Oh no, but I like. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, I don't think it's just leave on the background and watch. That's that sort of comedy. Whereas most comedies are nowadays.
I see what you mean.
Leave it on in the background. You look up, you laugh every now and then.
It is hilarious. So, I've watched that film so many times.
It's so good.
So jokes.
It's funny every time.
Yeah, it actually kills me. I like Jonah Hill in general. He's like a really really good actor. He's not just a comedy actor. I feel like he can do so many different. Like I think in Wolf of Wall Street, he was incredible.
He was so.
He was so good.
Yeah.
He was even like the small parts, like Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street. He's only in there for like 20 minutes, where he's like, you need to bump those numbers up. He's so good in that film.
Yeah, and in Moneyball as well, I did quite enjoy.
Was he in Moneyball?
Yeah.
McConaughey.
No, not
Jonah Hill. I was
Jonah
going to say,
Hill.
he's like the scout. He's like the 17-year-old scout. Or
yeah.
And they're like, who the hell is this guy? He's like playing football manager. Like, I think we need to get this left winger from like Palmares.
Because he gets on base.
Yeah. Does it be like? That'd be like. I would love to be like a scout. Like, show my Excel sheet. Go to like Crystal Palace or Chelsea. Like, or Mill will be like, if we sign this player from League Two. I saw him play against Devon and Dover in the FA Cup, and he's one of the best wingers I've ever seen. He put in 6 successful crosses, but he only crossed 8. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. I feel like I'd be the best scout of all time, 100%.
Mate, yeah, that would be.
That'd be such a sick job.
Yeah, I love that film. I thought it was so good.
Yeah,
Moneyball was good, and I don't know anything about baseball either.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't think I've ever watched even a clip of baseball.
I do find it interesting in watching Moneyball. What I found interesting was how in American sports it's very different to say football or rugby or whatever. You can just get traded like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or you can just get the team can just move to a different state. I mean, that doesn't happen all the time, but you're gone. We wanted you gone. There's no, how like players have a say. Like if a player doesn't want to leave, he can just sit on the bench and get paid.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in like American football.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Baseball or basketball. It's just like you're gone. See you later.
I can't imagine it.
And like imagine it's just like you live in LA and now you've been traded to like. Mississippi, you got no say. Like your family's just you and them has just got to leave.
You've just got to go.
It's crazy.
It's just, I guess it's just the culture, but that's what they believe is the way it is. So they don't.
Do you know what? It's funny. I would love to. I feel like I could get into American sports more if they had a similar thing to us, like relegation and stuff. Could you imagine if like you? Because imagine if I don't know exactly how it works in America, but. If you know you're not going to be relegated and you're not going to be playing for the title,
like what's the point?
I know anyone. To be fair, I do understand that in those leagues, that how, for example, Leicester won the Premier League. Mm-hmm. That's so unlikely to happen in England. But I guess the team that is like bottom of the NBA this year or the year before, they could win the league in a year or two because they can just get the right trades and they get the right draft pick or whatever.
Yeah.
But imagine how much better it would be, and imagine if they had like. An NBA equivalent to the FA Cup.
Oh, can you imagine?
Because I started watching.
I think they do.
I don't think they do. Like, because you know Ariel Hawani, he's a Forest fan.
Yeah.
So they're all Forest fans on the show. Like they watch every game.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, this is so good. Why? They literally said, I wish we had this in our American sports. Imagine if we had relegation. Yeah. Imagine if we had the FA Cup or the League Cup and it was a big final at like Wembley or something. They're like, we don't have that. And he's saying, if your season's done in, say, the first few months, it's like, well, you're not playing for anything. And the way it works as well, they have like a handicap. You know, if you know you're not playing for anything and you lose, you get like a better first pick the season after or something.
Yeah.
So it kind of, sometimes there's no incentive. It's actually an incentive to lose games.
Yeah, just lose on purpose. It's just insane to me.
It's mad. Well, it's 8. We can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Sounds good to me. Thank you, my friend.